Hi friends, Renee Keys here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you today. Today I'm still working on Christmas cards and I'm back to using the traditions of Christmas. It's a suite and I'm using some of the stamps out of this set, the labels out of the traditional labels, and I picked a piece of really pretty designer series paper. This is the poinsettias and it just has the gold foil and sparkles and shimmers and it's just gorgeous. So of course this is going to be my focal point, but I'm going to show you how to add just a little touch of bling to that. So the two dies that I'm using will build on each other. I'm going to put one over the other. And I went in search of a little additional bling. So I went looking for gold, glimmer, glitter, whatever types of paper you may have just to put on the largest die. So that's the first thing I'm going to die cut. As well as out of my mat, I'm going to cut the little oval. Smaller oval. I shouldn't say little because it's not that little. So let me put two pieces here. I'm just stacking these and making a traditional sandwich. I do want to make sure that I have these straight. And then line this up and crank it right through. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. And as it comes out the other side, I'm going to move this out of the way and just work with the plates. You can, oh, I didn't flip down to my work area. Here we go. So I just ran it through the embossing machine. That's all I did. And now I'm going to punch out. I should have run this back and forth. I forgot that these often have a pretty hard backing on them. So sometimes it is beneficial, and I may run that back through. It is beneficial to run it through twice. This one, however, did exactly what it's supposed to do on the first run. I just need to get an edge under there. I've been using my take your pick tool, so it's out. There we go. I have to lift up that corner. And before I try to pull this any, oh, now it was separated. Let's see if I can just, yeah, punch this right out. That wasn't so bad. But it does help to run it back and forth twice. I'll just throw that aside for now. Okay, so that's done. I don't need the plates. So far, I have die cut two shapes. There we go. They're going to stack up like that. But look at how that bling just shines through in the background. So now let me start building this. I've got my pretty paper. I'm matting it in red. You could put the bling on that mat as well and really make it pop. I kept the mat on this one a little more subtle. I'll show you a different way I did it the other day. And then build it like this. But that already is pulling out all the cool colors and all the foil. So this has the two shades of red. It has the cherry cobbler, which is my card base, and real red. They're both in there. And so this just is pulling out all those colors together. Now, I said I was using the stamps from that set. So you could heat emboss in gold your sentiment, and that would be beautiful. I'm going to stamp, I'm keeping this part two-tone again, so I'm stamping Merry and Bright with cherry cobbler on top of real red. And you will see how nicely that pops out. Like I said, if you're using gold and you want to stick with gold, heat emboss and use your embossing powder and make that gold pop extra special. Okay, inside, what I decided I wanted to do was stamp the sentiment, Sending Love and Joy, right here. And I'm going to do that in cherry cobbler as well. And I just put my finger in the ink. That's what happens when I start working fast. Sending Love and Joy. And I'm just going to stamp this. I like this because if somebody doesn't want to say Merry Christmas, you want to say Happy Holidays or Season's Greetings, you can still write that, you know, in your message that goes along with this. Now, if you'll remember last year, very popular set, the Sentimental Wishes, I'm using this bow because, and I'm doing this in real red, so I'm sticking to my two colors, and I just decided to put bows on top in those upper corners. Okay, now, what I could do, just thought about this, is take my wink of Stella and just add a little wink, but I'm also pulling a little ink. So I'm just giving them a hint of color when I do this. And I had a funny corner there that stamped onto my card. I will see if I can erase that away. I'll show you another trick. So I've pulled just a little bit of ink. I keep one of these on hand. It's a sand eraser. You have to use it delicately on paper because you're actually removing a layer of paper. But sometimes for small marks, and this might be too big, I'm just not going to worry about it if it doesn't come up. It will lighten it or remove it if it's just a little mark. The red's pretty hard to deal with though. So I have just kind of faded it out. And that's okay. It's handmade. We always say that, right? Don't worry. That's what I tell my people that come to stamp with me is, yeah, a little error like that just means it was handmade. Okay, so I'm ready to assemble inside the card. I'm going to layer this up. And I thought about making this into a fun fold because it would have been cute, not as a true gatefold down the middle. I thought about putting it on the side. I may have to do one of those soon so that you'd have a little flap here and then your sentiment would overlap. I may have to do one of those cards soon. I haven't done one in a while. So I'm ready to start assembling the front. I am, just for fun, going to mat this up first. And I get it all nice and centered the way I like it. So I have even edges on all sides. That looks pretty good. All right, and then press that down. And now I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal. And this, I know this is, please don't tell me it just ran out. I know it's getting low. I can see the red-orange tape in there, telling me it's getting close. But it's not there yet. But every time I pick it up, I think, oh, is this the time it's going to give out on me? All right, put that on, and I'm going to layer these up as well. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue on here. This has a little bit of texture to it. This was one of those glimmer papers. And I think, yeah, you got to decide. This sentiment could go anywhere. I do think centering it probably makes more sense. Now, what I should have done is popped that up. I got ahead of myself. I could put dimensionals under there. I still could have done the whole thing. Oh, I might do that. Where are my dimensionals? Let's just pop the whole thing up. I'm running low on these too. I tried to order them last week when they were on sale. And of course they were sold out like immediately. There were no dimensionals left because I needed a bunch actually because of my classes. I'm pretty wiped out. I was giving everybody dimensionals when they came. At least giving them a sheet so that they would have some. So I'm going to use some of these edges. Yeah, I'm going to like this better than having it flat. Okay. So I just sprinkled these all across the back to give it some support. Let's just pop this whole thing up off the card. Here we go. I've got a little glue on my fingers, so it's making this a little bit more tricky. Didn't intend for this to take this long. Let's get the big corner, and then I may not worry about the little one. We'll try it and see if it comes right off. And I'm about to say, nope, just leave it. Okay, so I am going to center this in the middle of the card. Yep. And now, along with that same suite, we have the sequins. So I'm going to sprinkle. I wanted some gold sequins on here. So let's just add to the shimmer and sparkle. I may put a red up here. Oh, I took it right off the glue dot. There we go. No, that one is just not wanting to lift off. There we go. Got the whole thing. Put one up there. And I may put another gold one down here. So just sprinkling those on, adding a little extra bling, and I am done. That is all we need to do with this type of a card. So I'm really, oh, look at that. You can see the shimmer of that gold foil. I'm letting the paper do a lot of the work in this case. And on the inside, I have a sentiment, plenty of room to write. I'll show you ultra blinged. If you wanted, this was not a glitter paper. This was even sparklier than that. And so I put it behind both of them. But look at the stunning difference. This one I tried to keep the base tone on tone to match the paper. And it's still really stunning because the paper pops. So that's my card tip for today. If you like the products and the projects you're seeing here, you can find me at Carolina Creative or hashtag Carolina Creative. I am on the Stampin' Up! Network. Renee Keese at StampinUp.net. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for the next video.